Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commerical Integrator. So happy to be here at the HDBaseT booth at ISE 2023, joined by my friend Mike Blackman, who is Managing Director with Integrated Systems Events, organizer of ISE. Congratulations on what has been a really successful show so far.
Thank you. It really has been successful. So far, numbers are surpassing all of our dreams. On day one, we had over 33,000 people through the door, and that's actually a record for any first day we've ever had. Yesterday, there were 40,000 people, more than 40,000 people in the building. So we had a lot coming from the day before, plus new ones. Again, a second record. So we're going for records. The show floor itself, the space on the floor, is almost 57,000 net square meters. Again, that's the largest square meter number we've ever had for the show. Even our 2019 show was a little bit smaller than that. In number of exhibitors, we had over 1,055. We had more in 2019 and 2020, and we're recovering. We lost a lot of the Chinese. But interestingly enough, of those over 1,000 exhibitors, 80 of them alone are HDBaseT members, Alliance members. So again, some really interesting facts there.
They really are, and I think the signs are clearly auspicious. In the conversations I've had, just unprompted with people whose booths I've been visiting, they've said, this just doesn't feel like a pandemic show. It doesn't even really feel like a post-pandemic show. What it feels like is a pre-pandemic show. It feels like we're back in 2018. It feels like we're back in 2019. And that, I think, is wonderful, because I think you and I both agree, in-person events, gatherings of the AV community, the AV tweeps, the parties, the trade shows, the networking, it is essential to the welfare of our business. Do you agree?
Absolutely. One of the mottos we've always had for ISE, it's not just about doing business, it's about networking as well. And, you can't do that virtually. What we're hearing from our industry is they've been dying to get back together, and we're seeing that happening. This week, there have been so many events around ISE. ISE is more than just a trade show. There are all these parties, dealer meetings, company presentations, company meetings going on, the influencers getting together. There was a party that happened on Monday night. I think Joe Way said to send out a tweet, everybody meet at the Irish pub. And I saw pictures coming back, and those guys were really dancing and partying. I said, I didn't get an invitation, but I made sure I go next year.
Yeah, this has been a whirlwind of a week for me so far. It's only Thursday, and there's just so many connections I've made, so many people I've spoken to, and that, to your point, is only able to be done at trade shows like this. And I'm so glad we're back in person again. Since you mentioned the members of people who have walked through the aisles, we had a royal with us, didn't we? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we did. We had King Felipe of Spain come. I mean, for us, that is a tremendous recognition, and when we get such support, it really shows our industry what this country thinks about us. The King was great. We walked around, we did a tour of several booths on the show, but he was asking the right sort of questions. He has a real interest in technology. And I was actually amazed the amount of knowledge he has about our industry. Outside of probably the briefings he gets, there were questions he was asking about companies who were not on the list, where he understood what was going on, and this was really good. And he said he wants to come back.
That is very good, and I actually heard much the same. I heard there were impromptu conversations that were 5 or 10 minutes, and he was really genuinely curious about our industry, about its technology. And just speaking of our industry and its technology, can you give us a sense of the breadth of what's here? In our little pre-dialogue, I was talking about the fact that there's video, there's audio, there's control, there's signal management. As you said, about 80 HDBaseT participating companies. Give us a sense of the breadth of what's here in Barcelona.
Very clearly, we cover everything that's relevant to the AV industry, and something new also in here. Well, it's been relevant to us, but we haven't really had it very strongly in ISE, and that is content creation. When we started ISE, we said, well, let's mix it all up so people find things they're not looking for. As the show has grown, and when we started, we were 120 companies, and now we're over 1,000. That's really something. But Now we've separated the show into technology zones, and the only reason for doing that is that you can't get around this show in 4 days. So we try to cluster the things of interest and say, well, if you're interested in residential, it's over there. If you're interested in smart building, it's over there. If you're interested in collaboration, it's over here. And this way, attendees can focus and say, well, this is what I need to know, or rather, this is what I have to know and need to know, and here's what I'd like to know. So they can go to the focus stuff first, and when they see they have time, they go to the others. So when you start off and come into the building, the left side is collaboration, the right side of Hall 2 is residential and smart building. Then you come into Hall 3, which is one of our biggest halls, and there you will see everything, we call it multi-tech. So it's, it's the companies who do everything. The big display manufacturers, the Crestrons, etc. are in there. And then you move into Hall 5, which is also multi-tech. Hall 6 is digital signage and content creation. I'll tell you a bit more about that again. And then Hall 7 is pro audio and live events. And then we've got Hall 8, where we created sound demo rooms, because a lot of those pro audio manufacturers, if they really wanted to demonstrate their equipment, they couldn't do it because someone opposite would be booming out Led Zeppelin and we couldn't talk. So in this way, we're able to give them demonstration rooms where they can actually do that, and the attendees can really go in and listen and hear what the quality of these products are. Going back to content creation, we've always had that at ISE, but more so in the last couple of years. What we're seeing is that broadcast content creation is becoming more part of our domain. We're going away from green screens and going into LED virtual studios. We're seeing corporate TV, and that's where the integrators really get their business. But we even go down lower when we're talking about what we're doing here, and then go in the upper end when you talk about creating films like the Mandalorian. So these virtual sets, etc., are actually being shown here because they're the people who are in our community. So that's going to grow again in 2024.
I think one of the real virtues of trade events like ISE are that they show the true breadth of the commercial AV industry as it has evolved. Having been to shows for about 18 years now myself, it's amazing to compare shows from like 2005 to now. We've become such a technology ecosystem, so to speak. We're not pigeonholed into just AV anymore. And I feel like walking the show floor, you're seeing dynamism in action, evolution in action, this industry transforming.
So that points and really highlights one of our keynotes today. We have Fran Chown. Fran is a professor at ISE, which is one of the universities here in Barcelona, and they've actually been doing a survey on innovation in the AV industry. They've been surveying our attendees here to find out and measure not only how innovative they are or see they are, but how their companies create and encourage innovation. So that's going to be a keynote at 5:15 tonight, and I would really recommend that. It's going to be very interesting to see what the results were of the survey, very in-depth to try and really find out what's been happening. We believe our industry is innovative, but does it actually encourage innovation? And that's the key question.
That is a key question. I can't wait to find out the answer at the keynote. Thank you so much, Mike Blackman, for taking some time to chat with me, visiting us at the HDBaseT booth, and sharing all of our excitement about what has been truly an amazing show. And I feel like I'll say it again, it feels like live events are back, industry events are back, and this, I hope, is just the beginning of what will come in the years ahead.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to further growth. Tomorrow night we'll be announcing figures because we'll know how many people have been here, but it's looking extremely encouraging. Thank you for your support. You've been there throughout the year with us and promoting us, and we appreciate that. I'm glad to be here, glad to be welcoming people to join us online, but come in person next time.
Absolutely. So my name is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commerical Integrator. So happy to have been joined by my friend Mike Blackman, who is Managing Director with Integrated Systems Events, which puts on ISE. Thank you so much for joining us.